This is a sewer matrix. Wait a second, what the fuck? What's he doing here? Droopy dog. What's up, people? What's up, people? You know? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know? You know? Oh, man. That was Droopy Dog at a Huffy's gas station. Anyway, I didn't want to hear that video, him playing on the gas pump. He's the mascot for Huffy's. And I'm not going to go into it right now, but it does tie in with this sewer matrix, with gas, with natural gas, with everything that comes out of the ground, out of the earth, comes out of the earth and goes back into the earth. So where are we? What is this place? What's this on the screen? Oh my goodness. You see that? Big shovel. Front end loader, it looks like, at a farm. Is that a big pot? Wait a second. Is that a big pile of... Yeah, it is, isn't it? Look at the tires. So much weight. You got to put some more air in those tires. They're dumping the shit, the slurry, the sludge, the muck. Some people would say, that's manure. That's just manure, Stephen. That's fertilizer, as though they're teaching me something by saying different words. That's just manure. That sounds better than shit. They don't use shit. It's called manure, Stephen. It's fertilizer. Well, that comes out of the asses of cows. Right there. Go to a farm. That's where they get it from. It's cow shit. And pig shit in some cases. And pig piss. And that stuff really stinks. The pig stuff stinks worse, I think, than the cow manure. That's where they get it from. So what am I talking about? What am I showing you this for? They're dumping. They're filling this up. They're filling up the shit spreader. That's what farmers call it. Sometimes they'll call it a muck spreader, a fertilizer spreader, but other farmers will just say it's a shit spreader. And they'll say, well, how else are we going to grow things? We have to dump this on the fields. Or the grass won't grow and the crops won't grow. The feed for the cattle won't grow, or the vegetable crops won't grow. Our cash crops, they won't grow without shit. People don't like to hear that, especially city folk. That's what the farmers call you, city folk or city slickers a lot of times. Go talk to some farmers out in the country. I don't care. I might even say I don't give a shit if you're from Australia or New Zealand or Canada, United States or Great Britain. They'll all tell you that. They call them city slickers. And they'll say they don't know shit about how we grow food. Well, it's grown in shit. You might not like to hear that. But this is what grows your food. So some of you might say nasty, but they'll say it doesn't exactly. It goes into the soil. Well, the soil is covered in shit. And the nitrogen and all the things that are in that shit go into the soil. Look at this guy. His job is to scoop up bucket loads of shit and dump it all day long. That's his job for that day. When there's shit spreading on the fields, that's his job. And they don't mind. A lot of these people don't mind. There's the cows. That's where it comes from. Trying to teach you something about the realm you live in. Some people say, well, Stephen, I live in the city. My food's not grown. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I don't give a shit where you live. This is what it's grown in. And then there's some that will come to my channel from Eastern Europe. There was one here weeks ago, in recent weeks, arguing, saying, well, at least it doesn't come, at least this, at least that, at least it doesn't come out of a bag. She misunderstood completely. She thought I was saying, well, this is not as good as the bag nitrogen that the farmers have to purchase from Monsanto. She went to the Monsanto thing. She doesn't understand. Look at it spilling over there. And then she'll say it's natural. Well, you're eating shit. And they'll say, but it's better. This is better than the stuff out of a bag, those white bags, as though I wasn't familiar that you can buy it. You can buy it and you can spread it in a little fertilizer spreader on your lawn. can walk around and spread those pellets, the nitrogen, the lawn fertilizer. You can spread that on big fields too, as though I'm not aware of that. I'm aware of that. But here's what you're eating. You're in a sewer matrix. Look at the shit flying out the side. Do you understand? This is what goes on the fields, what goes on the crops. Even if they're just growing fields of grass for cattle to go out there and graze and grass. You could put some cows out there eventually, or some sheep or some goats to eat. But then they get eaten. Their diet is grown in shit. So's yours. Whether it's animal diets or human diets, it's grown in shit. You might not like to hear that. A lot of you don't want to hear that. And then they'll deflect and do the mental gymnastics and say, this is better though. This is better than the big corporations that use chemicals. This is better. 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 It's shit's flying. It's flying out the side. And I'm trying to hammer it home to show you some truth, and you don't want it. You don't want to face it. So if you can't face simple truths like this that are observably true, how the fuck do you think you're going to get out of here past lying, deceiving demons using trickery, illusions, and all sorts of things? You don't even want to confront this truth that I'm showing you, sharing it with you. A lot of you don't want to face this. But this is natural. This is better. This is better. This is better. They go to. Well, why does all the food in this realm have to be grown in shit? You don't want to confront that and ask yourself, why is it all grown in shit? Why can't things grow here without being grown in shit? Do you like shit being attached to your food? Do you? All right, so here we go. Is this a Gingy farmer? What are we looking at here? Over here. Part of the sewer matrix. There's farms all over the place. Now for the dumb people, or the new people that might be new, they might be dumb. They might be dummies. They might be tuned in saying, are you vilifying farmers and farms and meat? No, you're making assumptions and you're wrong again. That's what a lot of you do. You jump to conclusions, false conclusions. I'm not vilifying farmers. I have farmers in my family, cousins, mostly second and third cousins that have farms. Dairy farms, pig farms, beef cattle. In Canada and America, I have relatives on both sides of the border, family on both sides of the border. Not all of them are farmers, of course, but some are. All right. Hopefully the audio is coming in good. Let's see here. What's going on here? Check, check. Okay. Anyway, I can't wait to get my new laptop, but I'm sharing some things here with you. Everything in this realm gets recycled, including waste. Animal waste, whether it's from pigs, cows, sheep, and humans. Human waste, humanure they call it, humanure, human manure, humanure. They call it humanure. Some people might not like to hear that, but that is the case. See this? This is how they do it. I'm not vilifying farmers. I'm not vilifying farms. I'm not demonizing meat eaters. Trying to get through to you and how this realm works. And maybe the penny will drop and it'll hit you at once and you'll say, instead of just using the term manure, I'm going to start seeing it for what it actually is. Our food's grown in waste. Our food is grown in shit and piss. That's reality. You might not like to hear it, but that's the design of the realm. I'm not vilifying these people doing this. Think bigger. Some of you come to my channel and you get stuck and say, what are you doing? What are you saying, Stephen? Who are you blaming? The realm is designed this way. It's a bad design. And I don't want to sound condescending to the people that get it, but some people need this hammered home to them. Do you see the shit flying? You can go out to the country and watch this, observe it. You don't have to trust YouTube for the paranoid baby truthers that are city slickers that have never been outside of the city that they're born in. Go out there and watch it. Watch during the season where they fertilize and spray the shit right into the water too. It goes into the streams. The runoff from the fields goes and pollutes the water with waste, with E. coli, quite often in rivers and streams. Look into it. Do some research for once. Go out there. Get off your ass. Go out of your house. Turn your fucking TV off and go out there. And turn off your computer and YouTube and go out there physically and stand there and watch them and smell it and go, yeah, you know what Stephen said was true. I'm out here observing it. I'm out in the countryside of England, or I'm out in Canada. And I'm out there watching them fertilize. I'm watching them spread the shit. I can smell it. I can see it. It's true. And you're going to finally have that breakthrough that, yes, everything that I eat is grown in waste and shit. You might make a grossed out face like you're disgusted. Go ahead. Do whatever you want. React however you want. But face the goddamn truth for once in your life about what you're eating and how things grow in this realm wherever you go. I don't care if you eat vegetables. I don't care if you eat lamb. I don't care if you eat beef or pork from pigs, bacon, pork sausage, pork chops, pork tenderloin. You might like beef roast, beef brisket, pot roast, blade roast, as they call it in Canada. Burgers, steaks, ribeyes, T-bones. What does the cattle eat from? How does their food grow, their feed? How do vegetables grow? In shit. I remember when I was young, people would say, well, mushrooms grow in shit. So does everything. The dairy cows, what do you think they're eating? They're eating food grown in shit. They're out in the fields that have been sprayed down with shit. So that's for milk and butter and cheese. Whatever you're eating, whatever food products, their diet grew out of shit. So does yours. Their diet or your diet, or both. It all gets recycled here. Where do you think the bodies of animals go? Out in the wild or livestock and domesticated? Where do you think everything gets buried? What about cemeteries? Where do you think the bodies decompose? Well, into the earth, people will say. You think there's some magical barrier that stops that from going into the soil? No. It all goes back into the earth. Everything that dies. Animals and people. Okay? It all does. It all does here. Everything here does. Everything. And I hope you understand that. Do you see the shit flying? Tons and tons and tons of shit is sprayed out onto fields. Every year, multiple times per year. So if you think there's just a little bit, it's fucking tons and tons and thousands of tons. Okay? There's whole shit piles and shit pools of liquid waste that they spray too, and they pump out of these containment, it's like a septic pond on farms. A lot of you that grew up in cities had no idea. You just have no idea. I'm trying to teach you something beyond agriculture. I'm trying to teach you something about the realm you live in and how everything grows here. And if you don't do this, the land will become fallow, dead. It won't grow even grass. So the realm is designed so that you have to fertilize it with shit to keep the soil able to grow even grass. Okay? Or wheat, grains, vegetables, whatever. Because if it just gets eaten up by cattle, It'll stop growing eventually. You won't be able to grow anything there, not even shit. You won't be able to grow jack shit on the fields. So they have to dump this waste to keep things growing. It's not because these farmers are bad or they're evil and, oh, they're evil. No, I'm not saying that. You got to start really paying attention and focus. Some people catch on to this right away. Others need it explained and explained and explained because they have roadblocks up. They have concrete bunkers around their minds. They don't want truth coming in. And they'll misinterpret and they'll jump to false conclusions and say, Stephen, are you saying the farmers are bad? No, I'm talking about the design of the realm. It's a sewer matrix. I'm not saying farmers bad. I'm saying the sewer matrix is designed this way. All of it. I don't care where you live. You don't have to live in the countryside. Where do you think that food comes from that you get at the grocery store? Or at the farmer's market, the people that say, no, Stephen, I eat real healthy. I go to the farmer's market. It's grown in this. Look at your screen. It's grown in this. It's planted in this and shit. And they don't just use cow shit and pig shit. They use human shit as well. From cities, hauled out to the countryside and sprayed onto the fields. Human manure. With all the stuff in it that comes out of a human body. The psych meds, the depression, anti-anxiety, depression meds, all the tons of medications, the birth control, the other drugs, street drugs people use, all kinds of things are in the shit. And then they heat it up and they say that they sterilize it and they're spraying it on fields and it goes into food. You're eating food grown in other people's shit. I know you don't like to hear that. Because it's true. It's not because it's just gross, because it's true. And the truth always bothers the vast majority of people to hear it. They don't want the truth. They want sweet, comfortable little lies. Fleetwood Mac had a song. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. I changed the lyrics up a little bit to make it a little bit more accurate. Sell me lies. Sell me sweet little lies. Sell me lies. Oh, no, truth I can only despise. Sell me lies. Because people do despise the truth and they want to be sold, not just told, sold lies. They want to pay to be lied to. That's the majority on earth. They pay to be lied to. And I'm breaking through and it is cracking people. It's making people butthurt. It's stinging their egos. It's making them upset. It's making them triggered. It's making them throw tantrums. It's showing how many in this realm are like woke little snowflakes. They can't handle any truth. They break down in tears. They get angry. They lash out at me. They do everything under the sun to avoid facing the truth. They don't want to face where they are when I say it and when I show it. I don't just say shit. I'm showing you them spreading the shit so you can really get a good look at it. And I'll tell you again, go out into the country. Don't just trust me and YouTube, because I know some of you. I know how your minds work to a great degree in terms of the mass mind. People go into denial and they say, I've never seen that. You've been in the city your whole life. Get out there to the country and observe it so that you can't deny it, because some of you say, that's just on YouTube. No, you've lived in the city your whole fucking life. Get out there. Drive out to the countryside during the season when they're fertilizing. Go watch them. Google it and see what weeks they're allowed to fertilize in your area, in your country. And get out there and watch them. Park your fucking car on the side of a country road and watch them for a couple hours till it sinks in your head that, yes, this is real. It's not shocking to me. I grew up in the country. But people accept it as normal. They don't say, wait a second, why does all of our food have to be grown in shit? All of it. What about our water? What about our wells? What about our groundwater? What about the wastewater that comes out of the city sewers? And they have these, what they call reclamation plants, water reclamation, and they reclaim the water. Well, what they mean is sewage, sludge, and your piss. And they do reclaim it. And it goes out into the waterways, into the lakes and rivers. That's where it goes. Okay? When you flush the toilet, most of you never think about where that goes. It ends up in the water. That's where it goes. Oh, and you don't like that. I know you don't like that. Because every drop of water in this earth, it's fresh water. It's been recycled. All of it. It all has had piss in it. It doesn't look like a bottle full of piss. It's not quite yellow like that. Okay? Do you understand? But it's all been attached to water molecules and we'll say urine molecules. And it's evaporated up into the sky and rained down into the lakes and rivers for fresh water and gone into the groundwater and into wells. Nothing here is pure. No water and no food. Look at this shit here. Look at this shit. You like that? This is where you live. You might say, I don't live there. I live in a clean city, Stephen, some people say. What is your food grown in? Where does that water go when you flush it down the toilet? Well, if you live in the country, it might go into a septic tank. And then it goes out into the, what do they call them? Weeping beds. Lines that run out of the septic tanks. That's where the liquid goes. And eventually it fills up with sludge and you got to get your tank pumped probably every 10 years or so. They advise these days 5 years or so. But it can go up to maybe 10 years before you got to get it pumped out of the solid waste that will build up. But learn about this stuff. Septic tanks cost many thousands of dollars to put in, even for a cottage, much less a house, like a 4 or 5 bedroom house. So if you live out in the country, it's thousands, many thousands. It could be 15, 20 grand for a septic tank. All right? Careful there. You don't want to fall in there. You don't want to fall in and drown in, oh, look at this. It's jumping in there. Maybe it's plugged up. You like this? Do you like this? Do you like your sewer matrix that you live in? I'm showing this as visuals on purpose. It all gets recycled in this realm. Okay? Everything does. Rainwater does. River water, lake water, groundwater, well water, the water in the toilet, the urine that goes into the water in your toilet, and the waste. Okay? It all gets recycled. Round and round it goes like the arrows on the recycling symbol. It goes round and round and round. Do you realize how water evaporates and rains down again from the clouds? The same thing happens to urine. The same thing happens to piss. And then the solid waste gets absorbed into the soil. Just like corpses do for people and animals. It all does. It all does. I know some people would say, what do you mean, Stephen? Here you go. Here's a visual for you. Round and round it goes. You see the arrows? Do you see what's within the arrows? That star? Looks like a familiar star. You see the Star of David? There's a lot within there. There's a lot within there. Okay? You might even see 3 6s. Well, round and round the arrows go. Round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. Everything gets recycled in this system. You're in a recycling system, a sewer matrix. All right, so I've shown this before in live streams. Check this out. See this guy here? See this funny old man here? A man in England put a plant in a bottle in 1960, and the last time he watered it was in 1972. It continued to thrive because the sealed bottle acted like a miniature ecosystem that recycle its water. That's the wrong its. Should be ITS. And nutrients. But anyway, it recycles the water and nutrients. It gets condensation. It rains in there, kind of like a rainforest. It just recycles everything, and it's closed. It's corked. It's sealed. It's sealed in that bottle. It's a closed ecosystem. A miniature, they should have said miniature closed ecosystem. Closed, sealed, glass, contained. Okay? Terrarium, but it's closed. You don't have to add anything. It's complete as it is. Okay? It has plant matter, soil. It will, anything that dies gets into the earth, the soil there as nutrients. It all gets recycled. It's all recycling. So is the earth. This is a miniature version of the earth. Okay? In a glass dome or a snow globe. Might not be glass, but we're closed in a closed ecosystem. That's how we're able to have air pressure. Air pressure. We're in a pressurized system, which requires a seal, a vacuum seal, like this bottle, or a dome, or a snow globe, where it's like we're in a snow globe. Thunderdome. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome is a clue. It's a closed system. That's why water can evaporate and go up into the clouds and rain down. That's why there's different pressure levels at different altitudes. It explains a lot, being a closed ecosystem. Everything in this earth gets recycled. It all comes out of the earth and goes back into the earth. So when people are worried about plastics and diapers, baby diapers and disposable shit, where did it come from? Did it magically come out of thin air? Was it taken from another quote-unquote planet, as humans would say? There's no planets out there. It's fake. They've deceived you if you think this is a planet and think there's planets out there. That's a deception. But it all comes out of the earth and goes back into the earth, whether it's coal or what we use to make plastics or metal, steel, or trees. We cut down trees. They grow out of the earth. All the materials, cotton for clothing, everything comes out of the earth and all goes back into the earth, whether it goes in a landfill or a cemetery. Whatever, you could bury something in your backyard. You could bury something and dig it up years later. It'll be degraded or rotten. Plywood will go, it'll rot if you put dirt over it and let it be rained on and rot away. That's what happens with everything here. It all rots and degrades and goes back into the earth. A lot of people say, well, we're polluting the earth with dumping things in the landfill. Well, where do you think all that shit came from to begin with? The earth knows what to do with it. It knows how to digest it. Some things digest quicker. Other things might take 10 years, 20 years, 100 years. They say with plastic it might take 1,000 years. Maybe it will. But you're not ruining the earth. It came out of the fucking earth. They want you to believe that just by living and breathing, you're ruining the earth. That you're exhaling CO2 and you're destroying the earth with that. They want you to believe that your carbon footprint, well, you're a carbon-based being. They're saying you're pollution. They're calling you pollution for living, breathing, and being made of carbon. Or a lot of you, it's not 100% of your body, obviously, but you're a carbon-based life form. Okay? They want you to think that carbon equals bad and exhaling equals bad. The more CO2, the more crops grow better, plants, flowers, everything grows better in a greenhouse with higher CO2 levels. It thrives. Okay? Anyway, what I'm saying is look at the plant in the bottle. Think of this earth as domed, whether it's glass or something like glass, a hardened firmament, domed, closed ecosystem. Above the sky. Okay? If you're in a closed system, it would work the way this works, except a bigger scale. Just upsize the scale from this glass bottle. That's what we're living in. Everything gets recycled. The soil, the waste, the leaves, the water, Oxygen, CO2, all of it goes round and round and round. It gets eaten, exhaled, digested, round and round it goes, like the recycling symbol arrows. Round and round, just like these arrows go round and round. It all gets recycled in this realm, in this sewer matrix. Water, air, organic matter, the flesh of animals, all of us. Our waste, shit, piss, everything in the sewers, everything that gets flushed, everything that gets thrown out into the dump, everything eventually rusts, corrodes, degrades, whether it's living matter or whether it's things that we make, everything gets digested and recycled here in this sewer matrix earth system. Everything. Everything. That's important to understand. All of it. Everything here does. Including spirits, unfortunately. So that's where a lot of people stop short on other channels. Spirits get degraded and recycled here with reincarnation. It's not just physical bodies. It's not just junk we throw out or material shit. It's not just things we flush down the toilet. Everything, including spirits, gets recycled here. Here! In this sewer matrix. Everything here. Everything, and I do mean everything in this system. Everything. Fruit, vegetables, meat, junk that you throw out at the trash in the land goes to the landfill, stuff that goes in the sewers. Every single thing here gets recycled. Air molecules get recycled. They've been the same as they were thousands of years ago, if thousands of years existed in history. This is a tricky matrix. That could be completely fake, could be an illusion, history itself. And water, molecules, urine, it all gets recycled. We're breathing and drinking and eating the same shit as ancient people, if they existed, or our ancestors. If you understand what I'm saying, it all gets recycled in this system. It's a closed ecosystem. It's closed. Round and round it goes. It all gets recycled. Do you understand? Think about it. It all gets recycled in this closed recycling ecosystem, in this sewer matrix. All of it. Yes, even gas. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? People, you know what I mean? Even gas. And they say it's fossil fuels. It is not from dinosaurs. Okay? It isn't. Oil isn't. It's something that replenishes itself. Self-replenishing, sort of like blood. Blood does that in the human body, and I think that oil does that as well. Self-replenishing. It doesn't run out. It's kind of like the earth's lifeblood. Oil, black gold, oil, lifeblood. The lifeblood of the earth. It never runs out. Millions and millions of barrels pumped every fucking week. It never runs out. Because the earth keeps making more. Just like if you donate blood, your body will make more. You donate some bags of blood, your body will make more. Do you understand? So no, gas does not come from quote unquote fossil fuels. That's a Rockefeller deception to make people believe in bullshit. Scarcity makes more profits. It deceives the masses. It gets more money and it deceives the masses and it has them way off about history and dinosaurs. There's so many angles to that with that agenda, and it works like a charm because the masses never question shit. They never question anything. They don't question shit in a shit matrix, in a sewer matrix. They don't question jack shit. So don't huff and puff, pardon the pun here, but don't huff and puff over the truth. At Huffy's gas station. Look at him. Look at him. Just look at him. Just look at him. Just look at him. God damn. All right. So I hope you're catching on with this here. A lot of shit comes out of animals. Cows, pigs, sheep shit, and also out of humans. I don't know what this guy's doing, being a weirdo. A lot of shit is made every day, every year in this realm. Tons and tons and tons of shit. It's designed to produce a lot of waste. This sewer matrix produces a lot of waste. Where do you think it goes? It all goes back into the earth, into the water, into the food. All of it. Look at this here. Spreading 890,000 gallons of manure in one day. So they call it manure, but what is it? It's liquid shit here. This is what it is. Liquid shit. Look at them pumping out of this cesspool here is the word I was thinking of. They have a fence around it. It's a big cesspool. They're pumping it out and pumping it into this. See that? Pumping it out of there and pumping it in here. Look at the size of that. See that? Compared to the size of these tractors and trucks, it's huge. It's a lot of shit. So when you think, oh, it's just dropped, Stephen. No, it isn't. It isn't. It's almost 1 million fucking gallons they're spraying on this field. They spray a lot of shit. So it isn't a little bit like the excuses. I know the mental gymnastics that people do. I'm aware of human psychology, and people have quote unquote defense mechanisms set up in their minds to avoid truth, to make excuses, to try to excuse it away and rationalize it and justify it. And they do backflips and Olympics level mental gymnastics to avoid facing that this is how your food is grown. So what? You're not eating it straight out of there right now, but it's grown in shit. It's growing in shit. That's the design of this realm. Did it have to be this way? No. If it was a magical god or a magical creator of this realm, did they have to make the realm where you have to eat things grown out of shit? Out of waste? No. But they did, didn't they? So maybe you should confront that. Maybe that's part of why I'm sharing this and trying to teach you something about the recycling system of this sewer matrix. The design of the realm. I'm not blaming the humans driving the fucking tractors. Okay? I'm trying to get you to understand where you are and how this works. So no, it isn't obvious when people say, I knew food was grown out of manure. You never thought of it on the level of it being actual waste and your food requiring waste to grow in, to grow it all, to keep these fields going. Growing anything requires waste, or it will stop working. The soil will stop being able to support life or grow plants or crops or even grass, whatever. For animals to graze. It won't grow anything if you don't do this. They have to do this. They have to keep spraying it with shit. Because it's designed this way, this realm. That's the design, and that's what I'm trying to get you to think of. The design of this realm, if you really want to understand this place. And if I have to say the design 10 million times more, I'll do it. Some people catch on quickly. Others take years and years, and they keep fighting it, thrashing against it, and saying, no, I won't accept it. It only hurts you in the end. Facing reality, facing the truth of where you are will help you immensely, immeasurably in terms of getting out of here. But if you don't face it, I don't believe that you can get out at that point. Because if you're in denial when your body's dying, you're fucked. You haven't done the work here to face where you are and what this place is. And face it to the degree of saying, I'm not coming back here, ever. I'm not doing this again. I'm not living in this cesspool, this sewer matrix. I'm not doing this again. It's part of the point of this. And I hope it gets through. I know I have to hammer away and I don't have to dust people with a feather or gently just toss seeds like the New Agers say. Just gently plant seeds and walk away. That doesn't work. You might as well try to plant seeds on concrete. Look at what you have to do to grow shit in this realm. You have to spray shit and grow it. Well, to reach people that have a mind encased in reinforced concrete bunkers, you have to take bunker buster missiles with 1,000-pound warheads and explode them to get through to these people. You can't just gently tickle it with a feather and expect the truth to go in. They haven't seen the light of truth in their lifetime. They're encased in a concrete bunker trying to keep the truth out. They don't want any truth, light of truth to come through. That's why I do it this way, because I have results this way, whereas other people don't. It doesn't work, what they're doing. All the nice sounding words in the world won't wake you up to the reality of where you are and what this place is and how it actually works in reality. This is observably true. Go out to the country and watch them spray the fields and shit and smell it, and smell how strong it is from a distance away. At the roadside, you can barely see where the road is past those buildings there. Okay? You'd be able to smell this no problem in the air. The smell of the fertilizer shit, you'd be driving to the country and it would be strong. Look at this. Covering, look at these huge muck spreaders with huge tanks trying to cover this great big field. Row by row, they try to cover every square inch of this so that they can get anything to grow there, whether they're going to plant corn or some kind of other crops or something, maybe it's grains or whatever. It doesn't look like it's been grass. It looks like they've been growing crops there for a while. It's a plowed field. It's not just grass for cattle to graze. They're growing crops there. It's got to be fertilized in shit, and piss. If you don't like the sound of that, too bad. That's what animal feed grows in. That's what human food grows in. So if you eat the animals ate feed grown in shit. Period. And if you don't like it, too bad. All right? This is how it works. Look at this thing driving around in there. Sometimes there's a person in there. Other times it's remote control. I don't know if this one has a person in it or not. This might be one that somebody has to drive it in there. Imagine that. Imagine being in that tank, driving this fucking thing around. Can't remember what that machine is called, but looks like it's remote control, that one. There they are with the lights on the track.